Yeah. I said, who's behind that old face? Because we hadn't seen each other for years. And he said, Glenn Harmon. We got up and hugged each other, and it was like old home week.
And Glenn always has quite an inventory of classic. He's got everything. He's got the rentals that he does. He's got classic cars. Glenn is one of our sponsors. He does trophy sponsor and stuff like that. We announce him at the shows. Good man.
He is a super guy. And the Toronado is one of my keepers. It just has a lot of memories. In fact, I liked my dad so well in '66, I went out and bought one myself.
There you go.
And,
there you go.
It's a neat car. And beauty of a car like that, at the shows, you don't see very many of them. There's not too many left. And it does get a lot of attention. I love driving. It's a neat car to drive.
Yeah. Now, you're also into the Jaguars.
Yeah, I've always been a Jaguar nut.
I was going to say, I noticed you pulled up in a Jag tonight.
And I've got a 94 XJS V12 convertible. And that's when Jaguar was phasing down the V12s. And that particular car, there were only 28 of them brought into the United States in '94 with that trim package and with the V12. And it's a neat car, too.
Yeah, very cool. So now you've got the Jaguar. That's a keeper.
That's a keeper unless somebody wants it with a nice checkbook.
And you've got the Toronado, and you've got the Crown Vic.
Yeah, I've got the '56 Crown Vic.
And that's a looker. People just, for some reason, that's one of those cars that they just gather around.
Yeah, they flock around it, and it to me was one of the neatest cars that was built in the '50s. It just absolutely awesome. This is a neat color too, kind of a coralish pink. In fact, there's one right behind you on that picture of the drive-in restaurant, identical. I think that's a '55. Mine's a '56.
The Crown Vic. And then what was the other one you had? You just got rid of one, didn't you?
Well, I had a '63 Studebaker Avante.
Oh, that's right, the Avante.
And '63 was the last year that Avantes were built in South Bend, Indiana, before Studebaker moved to Canada, then eventually went under. And that was a neat car. Recently sold that to someone out of town. It was a real pain in you-know-what. We had a lot of problems with it, and it was definitely a labor of love. It went home or went to the mechanic on a flatbed more than I drove it. So it was not a keeper.
Well, so many of these cars that people don't realize when they're looking for a car, and you've got some solid cars that run real good and they don't have to tinker with, but most of these classic cars, you got to be tinkering with something all the time. There's either a light out or there's something out, and it's always tough to get the parts and so forth. So it is like you said, somewhat of a labor of love.
It is,
and that's a good way to put it.
Very trying on the patience at times. And the darndest thing with the cars I've had, they'll all be perfect for a while. Then they'll all act up at the same time. And the budget can only go so far, so they get fixed one at a time.
This is one of those guys that goes out and says, what am I driving tonight? Not that one. Okay, here we go.
Oh, we got one alive here.
I knew I'd get something going here. But I tell you, I love having you out, and I want to thank you so much for your sponsorship on the TV show. It's guys like you and our other sponsors that keep this thing going. The TV show's a neat thing for the people. They enjoy it. Gives them a chance to see some of the stuff. And we've been, courtesy of Mr. Bill Mergens, we've been bringing film clips and cars from just all over the country now. We call them our cruising reporters.
Yep.
Up in Colorado and up in New York, and John Graham's all over the place, Connecticut and everywhere. And it's a pretty neat thing. So I want to thank you so much for that. So which of the cars is your favorite?
It's hard to say. I would say, there again, this is sort of nice, nostalgic. The '66 Toronado. The Ford is so unique and pretty, and it gathers a lot of attention at the shows. But the Toronado, I'd have to say, is my favorite.
That has more of a sentimental thing with your dad and so forth. So that's pretty cool. Now, I also understand that you are lunching with Don Guercio, the general manager of the TV station here. Anytime you can throw in a little good word for Lance, goes a long way. Would be greatly appreciated.
I tried to yesterday when I had lunch with him, and he put his fingers up to his ears. He didn't want to hear it.
So did you ask him if he needs a hearing aid?
I asked him. He said, no, it's Lance. I'm trying to block out.
You've got 3 stores now.
Right, we're in Sarasota on Bee Ridge Road,
Yeah.
On McCall Road in Englewood, and on Venice Avenue in Venice.
Cool.
Venice has been there since 1992. Englewood opened after that, and Sarasota's been there a year and a half now.
I was going to say that's been a little while, because that's when we first started with you.
Exactly.
Doing stuff, and you became a member. See, this is one of those guys, Bill, that all the different ID sheets, every time he changes a car, I got to do a new sheet, a new badge, and do this and do that. He's got more. I said, Doug, are we caught up on all the cars? He said, I have no idea.
Where I keep my trophies and all my car belongings in the garage, you know, I've got the pictures up. I've got some of the pictures you gave me in the office, which creates a lot of conversation. But I have a pile of pictures that you've done on my cars, and I have to kind of sort them out, try to figure out which car
Now, some
I've
of those
got.
I took, but most of those, there's the photography guy.
He does a good job.
Thank you.
All right, here's what we're going to do, folks. We're going to tell you where we're going to be this weekend. Hopefully, with a little bit of luck, the rain will hold off on Friday, and we will be at downtown Arcadia, Oak Street and Polk Avenue. Excellent location, excellent show, trophies, 50-50, door prizes, $100 cash club award, poker walk, great stuff. Then we've got Saturday morning, March the 13th, 9 to 2, Home Depot in Venice. Billy, if you want to come in on that while I'm talking about it, Home Depot in Venice on Jacaranda Boulevard, we're going to be doing homemade trophies. These are courtesy of Mr. Steve Giovanetti, Giovanetti's Automotive, another one of our sponsors. Check it out. Pistons, gears, timing gears, chains, all kinds of stuff. And he's going to have another variety of stuff. He said, is there any size limit on a best of show? I said, no. He said, good, because it's going to be about that big. So it's going to be, I don't know what he's got planned, but I know that these are our trophies you guys are going to want. Saturday night, March the 13th, I'm up in Bradenton at Joey D's Pizza. An excellent location, excellent food, great parking lot. Sunday the 14th, I'll be back down in Northport at Perkins Restaurant. You notice how I go from south to north to south to north to south?
And if you
It's like dancing.
are up north and you got a Chevy, Saturday morning,
Yes.
the all Chevy show
It's the
at
all Chevy
University
show.
Chevrolet. And
Great stuff coming for you, folks. Don't forget our title sponsor, D.E. Fuller, 13th Annual Antique Car Auction in Bradenton at the Manatee Convention Center. That is coming up on March the 20th and 21st. Now, on the 20th, I've got car shows. Doug already knows we're going to be doing something at the museum and stuff. And so he knows I won't be there the 20th, but I will be at the auction on the 21st with my wife, without a credit card or checkbook. At least not, that's mine. So what is the number to prevent the divorce?
It's holding right now at 3 older cars.
Okay.
And if I go to 4th, then I'm in trouble.
Then you're in trouble. That's all right. You know, if you can hold at 3, you're in good shape, man.
Yeah.
I like it.
She's pushing for 2.
See, here's the way I get away from it. I threw Gay the keys to the Trans Am. I ain't seen him since. Unless I'm coming to the TV show. Doug, that's all we got time for. Thank you so much, my friend, for being on. See Mr. Doug Rankin at Friendship Hearing for all your hearing needs, if you can't hear what I'm saying. And Mr. Mergens.
yes, sir. Are we done already?
We're done.
All right, everybody. Keep on cruising.
Folks, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week. God bless.